Hello, everyone. Excuse me. I am Jen, and my pronouns are she, her. I'll be your host for this evening. We'll be playing The Old Gods of Appalachia, horror TTRPG, and we are doing the old stories, Breathing Mountain. We'll go around to our introductions, and I'll start at the very top with Alex. Tell us who you are and what you're doing.
Hey everybody, thanks for being here. Thank you for including me. I am Lex Wilson. My friends call me Alex, and so can you. I use he, him pronouns, as does the character I play, Alistair Blake. His friends call him Dare, and so can you. He is a brash protector and a bread maker who knows Jack.
And Mal, tell us who you are and what you're doing.
Hi, my name is Mal, or Archangelic. My pronouns are she, her. And today I'm going to be playing Teresa Shaw, who is a superstitious sage who cannot escape the darkness. Her pronouns are also she, her.
Thank you very much. And Soliloquy, tell us who you
Hello,
are and what you're
friends.
doing.
Hello, friends. My name's Soliloquy Jaden. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me most places online as Fat Sapphic Bro. I will be playing Jasper Joaquin Vicente, he, they pronouns, who is a hardy protector who defends what matters. Welcome back to our space here at Lantern Light Adventures. This is home to all of our TTRPG and related content on Twitch. All of our games are also uploaded to our Lantern Light Adventures YouTube channel. There's a link to our link tree in the chat that you can click. It'll take you to all of our various social media pages so you can follow us everywhere we are. If you want to keep up to date on everything we're doing, feel free to also join our Discord, which is linked in the chat, or should be soon. If you want to play with us or GM for us, fill out the TTRPG actual play interest form, which you can find linked in our link tree and in the chat. And once you fill out that form, I'll email you back with our TTRPG consent form, and then we can match you to games from there. Speaking of playing with us, we are currently casting for our next project. We will be playing a new modern magical fantasy game. We will collaboratively build the world together using, I'm sorry, did you say street magic? Then we will create characters and play using Montecook Games' Cypher system. If you're interested in playing with us, there's a link to the casting call in the chat and in our link tree. We are looking for 3 players. This game will likely run for about 12 sessions and will be played live on Twitch. Day and time is to be determined by our players. Thanks for joining us today for The Old Stories, The Breathing Mountain, our horror-themed Old Gods of Appalachia actual play. We'll be streaming this game most Wednesdays from 2 to 5 p.m. PST. Friendly reminder that this is a horror-themed game, so please care for yourselves as needed. As for where you can find us the rest of the week, on most Sundays from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Pacific, we stream Era of the Dragons, our D&D 5e actual play. On most Mondays from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific, Archangelic, our lovely producer Polygeist, and myself have been streaming our playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. If you'd like to play with us as a guest, reach out to me at any time. Otherwise, feel free to come and hang out with us while we play. Most Tuesdays from 6 to 9 p.m. PST, we stream An Empty Dream, our Girl by Moonlight actual play. However, we are currently on a short hiatus from Girl by Moonlight as one of our players is recovering from some health-related things. In the meantime, starting on July 23rd, we will be introducing an in-game local Santa Marta television show called Appetites, a high-drama television show about culinary students who are also monsters. This will be a Monster Hearts 2 actual play played by the other available Girl by Moonlight players. We hope you'll enjoy this little hiatus project that opens up our Girl by Moonlight universe while we wait for our other player to heal up. We also record an audio cast after show for each of our games where we go over any necessary advancement steps and debrief from the game. You can listen to these for free on our Patreon, patreon.com/lanternlightadventures. All of these after shows will always be free, but we appreciate any contributions and support as it helps us continue to bring you awesome queer content. Just as a reminder, each month we take the last 7 days of the month off so we can edit and prepare more content for y'all, as well as have a bit of break to handle our day-to-day responsibilities. And finally, in support of a free Palestine, we will be financially supporting a family through the Pass the Hat project. More information for that will be shared once we're assigned our family. Until then, there's a donation link to Doctors Without Borders on our page that you can support in the meantime. And that's all my announcements for today.
Thank you very much as we dive back into the story of the Breathing Mountain. Now, last time you decided to go up into the mine itself and encountered a handful of puzzles. You've got some dynamite. Don't forget you have also a canary named Lucky that you've taken on. You've adopted the green man, naming him John, freeing him from this bargain he had made with the town or people within the town, and making him less of an eldritch being and more of a human being. He's experiencing the joys of humanity for the first time. Uh, You also have Jonah, who's there. You found out he is part of the Greenwheat Coven up in Toledo, Ohio, who's come down to Timber, who wanted to figure out why and what was going on in this spooky little town that you've come to know as home. You've also discovered that you've been kind of trapped in a perpetual season of spring, only to figure out or find out that time has actually started to move forward. And as you come to this revelation and going into the mind, you go in and discover that minds are a bit more tricky than they let on. Uh, as you encountered some strange creatures who were exceptionally territorial and gave you a what for. You retreated back out and left and went back home to Teresa's, where John and Jonah and Dare, Jasper, and Beatrice and Teresa, you all kind of gather as a kind of familial bond forms between all of you. And the bubbling laughter of John Greenman, as he now calls himself, fills your little home with laughter. And it's a nice reprieve from the darkness and horror that you've kind of found yourselves stuck into as the mystery of Timber kind of unfolds before you. Now, it's a nice day. You also know that John needs glasses as he's confusing flying things for stars. But other than that, the space is yours. As some of you do need to recover. Some of you have taken a bit of a hit, and what you would like to do from here is up to you.
Hi.
How late in the day is it?
Just slightly past lunchtime, I would say. I'll give you that.
All right. Yeah, I do need to rest up, but maybe since it's probably not worth it to go into the bakery, maybe I'll check in on Marcy and Willie's mom to see how she's doing and if they need any chores done now that she's all alone.
Definitely. So you can make your way down to Marcy's and Willie's home. You find their mother kind of sitting on the porch in her rocking chair, hunched over, hands at her face, somber and her make. And she looks up as you approach, tired, tear-streaked face as she regards you quietly, sits up and stands, wringing her hands in a bit of a worry. And she just sighs. She doesn't really speak. She lets you go first.
Just checking in on you, ma'am. You need anything done around the house?
No, that's quite all right. Marcy did quite a bit before. She
Yeah.
kind of looks away and sniffs a bit.
Yeah. Well, you know where I live, so please don't hesitate to call if you need anything done around here.
Thank you, Mr. Dare. I do appreciate that. It's come by tomorrow or later in the week. Gonna make some apple pie. Nothing too fancy, but something nice.
Oh, will do. I almost instinctively reach into my patch to see if, and I realize I don't have any bread or anything like that, so I can't really offer anything right now. So, yes, ma'am. And I'm sorry for your loss.
It's a natural part of life, unfortunately.
Doesn't always feel that way.
No. But we keep marching. I'm gonna go make some tea, Mr. Dare. You have a good one.
You too, ma'am. And I'll probably head home.
Okay.
So I imagine John is just at my house, right?
Yeah, he's basically your problem now.
Yeah,
You've
of
named
course.
him.
Hmm. Well, well, John, I think it's about time we had a small conversation about how things are going to go from here.
Kind of see him pause as he's reaching for something in the stew with his fingers. The stew a bit too hot to actually touch with your fingers, but he's going to do it anyways. And he pulls his hands back, resting them on his lap. Okay. As he kind of wiggles his head at you.
Um, Teresa will actually take a spoon off the table, stir the soup, do a little hedge magic to like cool it down just a touch so he doesn't burn himself. And she says, well, I guess first I got to ask, what is it that you want to do? Are you going to stay here or what do you think you're going to do?
You kind of see the gears run through his head as he considers the phrasing of, are you going to stay here? And he contemplates it for a bit. And he says, I do not know. Nor do I care to know.
Well, ain't a lot of places gonna take too kindly to someone just hanging around. You're probably gonna have to find work to do. Might need to find a place
Um,
of your own to stay.
I'm just gonna go bother Dare and see if I can work at his bakery.
That sounds like a good plan.
I have them now and then.
Um, I would have work for you, but honestly, Jasper does most of it. So, um, you're welcome to stay in my home for a little bit until you get a paycheck. But I guess welcome to freedom.
My feet hurt and I'm hungry.
And it
Welcome
doesn't
to
stop.
humanity.
Well,
Speaking of which, though, so I think that Jasper doesn't have an actual house. I think that I rent like a room like above the butcher shop because I help the butcher with things as like work. So I will tell Jack I've been staying here on Teresa's couch for the last several days. So if you want, you can spend some time in the room that I rent above the butcher. Um, you can kind of have the place to yourself for a little bit. Um, yeah, just to kind of get you started on your own, see how things feel, and we're around if you need anything.
I'm gonna touch everything. As John stands up.
That's fine.
Good, because it wasn't so much as a commentary as it is I'm just going to do it. I was
Just
just
don't
telling you.
just don't take my stuff. You can touch whatever you want, just
Mm.
don't take it.
He thinks for a moment. I will not take your stuff.
Thank you. And I will hand him a key.
He takes the key, but I am going to move it as he heads out the door.
Whatever. And at some point, I'll let the butcher know that, like, hey, someone else is going to be staying there.
Yeah. You hear him getting into an argument with something outside. It sounds like a rabbit, but his voice kind of trails down the road as he
That
leaves.
feels right.
He hasn't quite grasped what it means to be a person, but he's enjoying what he can.
What what do you think he's gonna tell people about why he's around here?
You know, that's a really good question. It's hard to anticipate what he may say or do. He is quite a chaotic being.
I mean, I don't think he's the strangest person to roll through town, but he's definitely strange.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see how he fits in. We'll have to make sure to check on him frequently.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I need to rest. Are you feeling okay after?
Yeah, I'm all right. You get some rest.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll take. I mean, you said it's like midday though. Oh well, whatever.
You're allowed to take naps.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not
naps.
injured or anything, so
Naps are 100% supported here. So, mm. So you can take a nap, and Jasper, you can look after Teresa. Um, there, as you go into your house, there is somebody standing by your stove, petting one of your dogs, Cookie in particular, and kind of just thumbing over the top of Cookie's head. And as you come in, they turn and you see George.
Hey, George.
Hey,
Make
Mr. Dare.
make yourself at home.
Well, gladly. As he moves away from the stove and sits down on a chair and leans back. So, how you been, Mr. Dare?
I've had better weeks.
Yep, me too. So you got Silas's dogs.
Yeah,
He reaches into a bag as Oliver kind of nudges you a bit, wanting some food. And he pulls out a small jug of whiskey, or moonshine, excuse me, and sets it down on top of your table. Last last batch of last batch I made recently. A bit for you.
you came over here, entered without asking, just to bring me some moonshine.
Nah, that'd be that'd be crazy. Now I came in here without asking, looking at your things and wondering if you've actually did what we told you not to do, Mr. Dare. Because my trees are dying.
Well, I am sorry to hear that. But what I'm not sorry to hear is that I think people are going to stop dying.
Hmm.
The way I hear it, the person you made a deal with gave up that line of business. And that wasn't because I asked him to.
Let's see. Well, that sucks. Well, suppose I could go over to corn mash. It wouldn't be too difficult. Same process.
And we got all this barley
Barley's
and rye.
good.
And rye. Rye keeps coming in, and they keep wanting me to make rye bread. I don't think it's going to take. There's a few people who like it a lot. It's growing on me, but
Hmm.
I don't think we need to make a lot of bread with this. So anything I can do to help as far as sharing the shipping cost, as long as things come in at the same time, I'm happy to help. But I'm not sorry at all that if the price of you having resources to apples, cheap access to apples means people died.
I suppose so. But those apples were already paid for by 10 souls. These additional 5 are just bonus.
Tell me about that deal.
Yeah. He kind of sits up straight and thinks for a moment. I didn't really participate too much. I watched it. Person who made my grove did it because, well, they just like growing things, I think. We were kind of mutually beneficial there, so but if he's gone, so be it. Lives his life, he does what he wants, but deal was made with 5 survivors, I suppose. Their families, mostly. Uh, deal was perpetuity and prosperity, from what I understand. But there were 4 people, unfortunately. 5 if you count that star lady. Man wasn't too willing, but wasn't quite willing to give up and his protections. But the 3 who were kind of in charge kind of pushed those 5 families into a bargain and gave them what they wanted. So the man made his own bargain just to, I suppose, survive, protect what he wanted to protect, and 3 others got away with what they got away with for 10 years, I suppose, now. It is what it is. Nobody really challenged it, so I didn't really care. Wasn't my problem.
I feel like every problem is everybody's problem.
Only if you make it.
Maybe. I don't know. This week has kind of fucked with my head, so
Hmm.
I'm out of the business of giving advice.
Well, that's all right. I mean, You got your moonshine, and the vice will come right back. It always does. Anybody drinking that stuff?
Why don't you save it for a special occasion?
That's all right. I got 5 more of these at home. I don't need this one.
It sounds like if your supplies run out, then
Yeah, I got rye, remember? He gives a smile as he stands petting the dogs once more. I'll bring some by once I made that fine rye moonshine just for you, Mr. Dare.
appreciate that. Um, I'm mixing up this in my other group. Can I sense lies or sense something? Let me see. Sensing lies.
I think this is you. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trained in that.
Yeah.
I kind of want to know, like, if he's got an ulterior motive with giving me this moonshine, or is it poisoned? I don't know. That's where my
Yeah.
brain goes with it.
Yeah, you can roll that if you
All
want.
right, let's see. 11.
11. All right. George isn't being dishonest with you. He's just more curious as to what was going on. He likes straight talk, he likes honesty. He just wanted to know what was the up and up and what was going on. He doesn't like being beaten around the bush, more or less. And this was just his way of, unfortunately, checking in without asking. But he doesn't really have boundaries, you've come to notice from his personality. He just does what he wants to do and doesn't really care for social society. But he's a good man at the end of the day. He just has his quirks. But as he leaves, he'll kind of straighten the moonshine bottle and pet your dogs once more. Seems to like them quite a bit.
Anything happens to me, you want to take the dogs? I'd be obliged, George.
I'd like that actually, but I don't know if I'd be a good fit for dogs. I like staying out in the hills a lot. And
Well, I don't like the idea of something happened to me, but
well, don't make anything happen to you. That's pretty obvious, Mr. Dare.
all right. Knock next time, buddy.
Don't leave your door unlocked. As he kind of shuffles outside. It's an invitation to let things in, he calls over his shoulder. Lock your door, like a civilized person. Christ. Heads back home. But if there's nothing else for you 3, you can mark your 8-10 hours rest on your sheet and recover some of your pools.
And do we roll for that? How much we recover, or
Um,
it has been a while since we've done that.
I think for every 10 hours, I think it's like 3 or 5. I'll just say you can recover to full.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm only down to 3. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not too fussed with the recovery here. But I do see that GM intrusion that I nearly missed.
No, ignore that, please. I was testing something.
I mean, I can.
I mean, yeah, do whatever you want. But
No.
When you say you 100% support naps, does that mean like we can take one in real time?
I mean, yeah, I'll if you want to nap now, I'll
Sweet.
tell you.
This is going to make for some very entertainment radio Twitch stream.
Live on studio radio. But yeah, you can recover for the night. Take your time and recover as you wish. But the next day kind of greets you, well, midday, because maybe a bit more sleepy than you expected. Um, the morning comes and Jonas has gone home. He's safe. He's let you know. You haven't seen John yet today, any of you. Not entirely sure where he's gone, but the butcher
You say,
lets you know that a strange man has gone up to your spot, Jasper.
you say Jonas has gone home. He's spending the night in the inn.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's his residence.
Prior to leaving, I had mentioned that some people in town might have been gunning for him if he wanted to spend the night at my place. He would be
Mm.
welcome. I don't know if he wanted to take me up on that or if he feels pretty secure in his ability to defend himself.
I think about halfway through the night, Jonas comes to your door and knocks to be let in because he doesn't feel all that secure and he doesn't want to give away that he's a hedge witch and kind of just wants to be comfortable for the night. He'll take the floor and is quite happy to just stay there.
Cool.
He
Yeah.
has the
I-
dogs to keep
Yeah.
him warm.
Yeah. And I probably got a spare mattress or some sort of a camping pad type
Mm,
situation, which is not great, but it's not sleeping on the floor. Full stop.
probably lots of quilts as this is Appalachia and quilts are rampant in crafts around here. So
Pretty dusty because it hasn't been winter in a while. I
yeah,
haven't needed to take them out yet in a while.
yeah.
So lots of flannels.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I'm so ready for the fall, and it just never comes. But
Yeah.
my collection of flannels.
It's quite a handsome collection, but yeah, Jones will stay the night, but he'll probably be outside your home in the morning, just kind of working on his own things, but doesn't bother you too much.
All right.
And I'll let the butcher know. Yeah, that's a friend. He's a little strange, but he means well. His name's John. He'll be staying at my place for a little bit.
Butcher gives you a long, hard look and just nods a bit. All right, yeah, okay. Tell him to stop bringing plants into my shop, but okay.
Will do. Will do. Let me know if you have any other problems with him.
All right. Keep strange company, Jasper.
Yeah, yeah, I do.
Hmm. Butcher goes back to their work and John eventually shows up, but he's covered head to toe in mud and he just has a handful of water lilies in his hands as he's kind of marching up to the apartment.
John, what are you doing?
They live in water as he looks down at the water lilies.
I'm aware. You can't bring all the outside inside.
You didn't say I couldn't.
I understand, but I'm saying now that you can't. You can have some of it. You can have a couple of plants in there, but you can't make the inside the outside. Otherwise, we're not going to have that room for very much longer. Got to keep the butcher happy.
He sets the water lilies down in the middle of the street, stands back up. Okay, I will not bring more plants inside the house.
Thanks. You also might want to wash off all the mud so that you don't make everything muddy.
But then where the frogs live?
How
Hmm.
many non-plant living things did you bring into the room?
He slides a hand into his pocket and pulls out a handful of frogs. 6.
Okay, they will much more prefer to live outside than inside our room.
But there's a bathtub.
That's for you to clean your body, which
That's
you
where,
could really use right now.
but the cattails are there.
Oh my God, what are you doing up there?
Touching things.
Clearly, it was too early to leave you on your own.
I like that
I'm gonna
he's
go.
rewilding your apartment. That's pretty cool.
Wild.
Our friend, the eco-terrorist.
And if you go upstairs, Jasper,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's basically a miniature wetlands up there.
This is not gonna work for our landlord downstairs.
Doesn't dare say seize the means of production.
Not what he means.
Pretty sure that's what he
I
means.
don't think he meant turn my apartment into a rainforest.
A rainforest is tropical. This is not tropical.
I'll trust you. I don't plants are not my thing. You're gonna have to make this place look more like it was before. You can't have all again, you can't have all the outside on the inside. You can
But
go
you're
outside and hang out with nature out there where it belongs, but not in here.
So does that mean the termites in the walls have to go outside too?
Did you put them there or were they already there?
Already there.
Well, if you can get rid of them, awesome, without hurting the building. But if you can't, then just leave them.
But they belong outside.
Yeah, that's way above my pay grade.
Okay. I'm gonna go put the frogs in the bathtub.
No, not in the bathtub. The frogs need to go
Mhm.
back outside.
But the water's inside. As he
But
kind of shimmies up the stairs.
oh man, I, no, we'll deal with this later. I'm just gonna leave him.
Frog hops by you.
I'll just go complain to Teresa about what's happening. John is turning my house into a wetlands.
Yeah, that sounds right. Um, he needs to be in green. I don't think he's gonna survive without his hands dirty all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll make him useful by starting an herb garden. I mean, my garden could use tendon. That's yeah. Well, do you need me to come clean your house?
It's more, I don't know how to make him stop.
All right, let's go wrangle this guy.
Maybe we just need to set him up somewhere outside. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna set him up in the garden.
So you go to Jasper's home, Teresa, and yeah, no, it's a wetlands. John has turned this entire flat into the botanical gardens wetland scenery that you would find, and he seems quite pleased with himself as he's just sitting down on the ground in front of ducks of all things, as he's just watching them go by, go into the kitchen, and he looks up as you two arrive.
Um, Teresa will say, "What are you up to?"
Making it my own.
All right. Remember when we had a discussion about how there are certain rules? They're not magically enforced here, but there are
Mm-hmm.
certain rules. There's only a small subset of animals allowed in houses.
Termites.
Well, that's just a fact of life. There are pests, there are classifications for everything, and they're a little different from how you might view it. Now, if you want to do all this, look, we kind of ripped you right into mortality.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel about tending to my garden? And we keep
Okay.
all of the animals and plants outside. And we have a special place where we work on growing things and bringing animals.
A zoo.
I don't have enough land for a zoo.
You just see a long pause and kind of cross over John's face. For now, as he stands up, gathering the duck into his arms and heads out.
I'll grab the frogs.
Teresa begins just draining the tub. Like, it's just,
There's a catfish at the bottom.
how did you get a catfish? Well, I guess I know what I'm cooking tonight. And she'll grab it by the mouth and pull it out of the tub.
Wow.
Seems John had been very busy in the night that you left him alone.
Clearly.
But he'll go back to your place, Teresa, sit the duck down on your lawn and get to work in your garden, happy as can be.
Fantastic. Just need to give him appropriate outlets.
He's definitely that kid who needs his energy directed in the right place. But he'll start making your garden beautiful. It was beautiful before, but he just seems to make it more so. Most of your lawn disappears by the end of the week as he just adds more and more flowers, more and more trees to your property.
Teresa will say to Jasper, he reminds me a bit of Owen. Owen could never stop doing things. He was always up to something, some project, some wild idea.
Definitely. That man never sat down.
It'll be good to have someone around the house,
Mhm,
someone else doing things.
for sure. It is much better having him on our side.
Absolutely. And at least we didn't wake up to screams in the town square today.
Yeah. I'd like to never wake up to that again.
Jan will continue his work, and as she does so, there's a knock on your door there. A very polite knock. You hear a quiet voice that says, I brought the apple pie to you, Mr. Dare.
I'll open the door.
You see Marcy and Willie's mom. She has
I
the
thought you
apple
said
pie.
Marcy. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, Marcy. No. You see Marcy
Here's
and
your
Willie's
apple
mom.
pie.
There you go, Mr. Dare. Eat some apple pie.
Okay.
And she kind of has less of a worn feature to her, but she still looks very tired. But better. Um, but she has her apple pie and she kind of hands it over to you and says, Thank you for checking in on me, Mr. Dare.
Of course. And what do I call her? I can't remember. She has a name, I'm sure.
We called her Alice. If not, that's her name now.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Alice. But it really is nothing.
Still means a lot to be checked in now then. Mr. McCavish came by shortly after you did. check in on me as well.
Well, even a clock's stopped clock.
He might be a company man, and I understand he's not always favored here, but he's not a terrible man.
No, ma'am, he's not. Nobody's all bad.
But come by for tea if you want some anytime, Mr. Dare. Might have some chores if you don't mind down the road. I need help with a bit of shed building. I can do most of it on my own. Can't quite get the roof though.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna go into the market. Just tell me if you need anything. I'll swing by later.
Oh, that's mighty kind of you. And stop in and see me at the bakery anytime, too.
Of course. I don't really. I'm gonna confess something, Mr. Dare. I don't care. I don't care for your rye bread very much. It's a bit dry.
Speaking my language. But we'll work on it. It does grow on you.
Right. I'll give it another shot if you say so.
Yeah, maybe give it another week. We're still figuring it out.
Very well. Well, I'm gonna go do my shopping then.
Thanks for stopping by, and I really appreciate the pie.
Of course. Anytime. She gives a nod of her head and turns around and heads away from your home. And as we do so, we'll go for a quick break just to see if we can get our fourth player in. Thank you for joining us. Be back real quick. Hello, and everybody, welcome back. Beatrice has joined us and has been caught up on the shenanigans of John and everybody else at this table. So now, kind of having a gentle episode as we are steering away from the dark for a moment before we have to dive back into it. Beatrice, the day has been calm. Oh, and you did have a 10-hour recovery, so make sure you mark that, Beatrice. Get called to dinner along with Dare to Teresa's place. Catfish is on the table. And is there anything you want to do in the space of you resting till you getting called to dinner, Beatrice?
I think the only thing that necessarily comes to mind is checking out the like I guess the town square where all the posts were. Are they gone?
Posts are still there, but they have been moved in the way that you know that they're coming down. Like, you know, at the end of a fair, you see things starting to come down, scaffolding go up. It's that kind of feel. Um, but yeah, doesn't look like anything else has been added to them. More or less, things have been taken away.
Does it look like anybody in town did that, or did John maybe have the time to do it?
Yeah, you're not too sure, but it could be John. It could have been somebody in town. You're not sure.
Good to know. Um, if she's there already, I think she'll wander over to the archive and see like what has become of the massive amount of damage that was just left there.
Yeah. So as you go into the archives, it is clean, as if nothing ever happened to it.
Uh-huh. Okay. Uh, she'll think to herself, that's really strange and very creepy. But at least I don't have to pick up that massive bookshelf that fell over. So I guess that's, silver lining. Um, okay. Um, yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's kind of what I wanted to do before dinner time.
Yeah, that bookshelf that had been smashed to the ground, right up, fixed everything in place,
Hmm.
as if it were never broken. Miss Jenny
Interesting.
Brown does see you before you leave, though. She
I'll be
sticks her head
polite and
out.
yeah, I'll be polite and give her a hey, afternoon.
She looks you up and down and gives a small nod. Been busy, Miss Beatrice?
No busier than usual, ma'am.
Hmm. Shop was a little ruffled the other night, but that's all right.
Was it?
She shrugs a little.
Well, it's mighty cryptic of you to say. Is everything okay?
Oh, nothing was taken from my shop. Archives looked a little shaken up, but seems fine.
Okay, well, good to know. Thanks for watching out. She motions to the archive.
Hmm. Yeah, some papers went missing. Other than that, who knows? As she turns back into her shop.
Oh, she knows, guys. Oh no. It's fine. We're just gonna play it off. Yeah, I guess that'll be that. If she just goes off and goes about her day, I'm just gonna leave too.
Yeah, to part way. Miss Jenny Brown tending to her shop, and you just woo.
Yep, pretty much.
So you get called to dinner, and uh, Jonas slash Lucas joins you halfway up the trail. He kind of bumps into you. He's not really paying attention to you, but he when he sees you, he's like, "Hey, yep." As he keeps walking,
Good talk, Jonas.
"Yep." As he puts a thumbs up, keep walking,
Oh, I
and
wonder
then he
if he's
stops.
already had like this Jenny Brown treatment. He already knows. All right, yeah, we're gonna just walk awkwardly, like different like
In the
lengths
same
from each
direction.
other, yeah, in the same direction, I guess. Cool.
But you see Jonas ahead of you, Dare, as he's left a little bit earlier than you, but somehow still managed to be at the same pace as everybody else. How he manages beyond you. He just did.
Magic.
Magic, or he
Maybe.
just wasn't paying attention to where he's going. May have gotten turned around 3 or 4 times in the middle of the town square and then realized, oh, he has to go this way. But you all eventually meet up at Teresa. There's a lovely smell of catfish being made, and Teresa's lawn has been transformed since you last saw it about 20 hours ago. There are so many flowers and trees you didn't even know that were supposed to be growing here now.
I bring the moonshine and the apple pie that I was gifted in the last 24 hours.
Well, welcomed gift.
Yeah, for a couple of the like more obscure plants, Beatrice might take a couple like tracings in her journal.
As you do so, you get a feeling somebody's looking down over your shoulder.
I look up,
You
maybe
see,
jump a little bit.
see disheveled red hair, pair of bright blue eyes, kind of looking down at it. And then a muddy hand kind of smears across the page and he says, put a little more ridges here, it'll be good. As John kind of points to what you're drawing and scattles away.
It's like a small amount of dismay of like a bunch of mud, like a big fingerprint getting like put on the drawing, but like,
Yeah.
like, oh, thank you.
As he kind of just goes back to what he was doing.
Um, I guess as everyone's coming up, Teresa will step outside and say, John, wash up. Food's ready.
You just hear a very exacerbated groan as he goes, ah, fine. Just see his head pop up over a hedge, and it looks like he's going towards the creek at the end of your property rather than the bath that might be in your house. He's gonna go do his own thing before coming back.
He'll
Fair
be
enough.
at least he won't be muddy when he comes back.
True.
Takes him about 50 minutes, but you see him kind of prancing up to your house. Clean, wet, but clean.
Good enough for me.
You're all gathered around a nice meal that Teresa's made. Pie, moonshine at the hand. Is there anything you'd like to talk about? Just shoot the shit, whatever you wish.
I don't know if there's any new information that we got from my conversation with George, but I share that conversation about the deal that from his perspective, and let them know that the apples, the orchard is dried up.
I mean, yep, it was being propped up by whatever deals were binding our good friend John here.
Or it might just be the end of the season, finally.
Well, they weren't in season to begin with. That
Oh,
was the
that's true.
problem with them.
That's true. So, to everything, turn, etc.
I suppose, though, took a stop by the archive just to make sure it wasn't in completeness, and turns out it was quite the opposite. Everything was just put back, including that, giant bookshelf that had completely toppled over.
Hmm.
Feel like we would have heard more whispers going through town if someone had found it and fixed it.
So somebody's covering this up.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Well, and so we went up to the mine and it didn't look like much mining was actually happening.
Mm-hmm. Which makes you wonder what they do in there every day.
I mean, we didn't notice that spring hadn't ended for years. What else hadn't we noticed?
Well, if the deal was prosperity for the town, I mean, the reason we keep mining is for prosperity, whether it's individual or as a community. So if we don't need to be pulling up the coal, then maybe there's something there.
We have maps of these mines, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we're gonna find answers, we need to know where we're gonna look. There's still several people we need to talk to. There's still the gray lady that we have no idea what she's about.
In that weird poem we got about Pan.
Yeah.
John raises his hand.
You can just jump in, John. What's up?
I'm Pan.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
That summon was for me.
okay.
That's how they trapped me.
Oh,
Made a little circle, summoned me forward, and
Gotcha.
Who
you know
all
what?
was
Beatrice will take that specific piece of paper then, because I guess she just holds on to all of it. They're just like there's just this like bunch of like scraps and stuff like in like the back of her journal, I guess, that she's just keeping between the pages and the back cover. I'm just gonna take that paper and just rip it up.
oh, that was nice.
Well, I mean, you've been more than kind. I don't want someone to just have another set of words that have power over you.
Hmm. Yeah, that suck.
John, do you know that if mining has stopped for years, or
Mm,
or if there's something special about the yesterday when we went down there, that something changed more recently?
well, the ghosts still mine, more or less. They're kind of trapped in that cycle. But yesterday was technically a day of rest in the grand scheme of things. So
The,
nothing was working.
the ghosts still mine even after everything's been broken?
The ghosts weren't my deal. My deal was to keep Beloved safe. And in turn, I kept this town in a state of prosperity. Those great ladies did another deal that I was tied into. Well, let's see. A lot of upset of balance happened. I had to keep a status quo and it wasn't always easy, so I was always looking for a way out, which is why I came to all of you. But I was always making sure Beloved was safe. Because if I didn't keep her safe, those things would go after her. Unfortunately, I just built as a prison. I didn't have an option otherwise. The hand was forced in a natural manner.
What can you tell us about the one you call beloved?
She is soft. Song that brings memories of joy of the past, kindness, love. She is the stars in the sky. That electrical feeling you feel right before a storm. She is that breath of ozone, both wild and untamed. Powerful, but trapped.
and does the mining they're doing, does that threaten her?
No, 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 it doesn't threaten her. If anything, keeps her safe, keeps her away from those horrible things in the shadow. Things that we don't speak of. Things with horns.
Are we thinking that we need to venture back into the mine? I mean, I don't know how many of those things we ran into are there, but
Felt like a lot.
I mean, we saw 2 tunnels collapse when we were in there. We are ill prepared to handle that.
Oop, you're muted there, Dare.
I don't know if I have the perspective anymore to know whether stirring things up is progress or just making things worse. So I'm I'm not the decider on this one. I just can't.
fair, fair.
But it sounds like we handled one deal, but there's something else going on with the gray lady.
Really D's.
I don't
Plural.
like I don't like the sound of ghosts being stuck there mining forever.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
love that either.
Why? They're dead. What does the living owe the dead?
I don't know that it's that we owe them anything. It's just seems like a terrible way to spend eternity. Wouldn't really wish that on many.
Every spirit deserves peace.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And what we owe each other has nothing to do with deals or debts. It's about community.
Well, it freed me by giving me a name. Can't do the same with the ladies, unfortunately. They don't answer to the same magics as I do. I don't know what faces they're wearing anymore. They've changed over the years. I tried to keep up, but it was harder than I thought.
You know how we would go about finding them?
Yeah, but you're not gonna like it.
Well, it won't be the first thing about all of this that I haven't liked, so
Oh, come on. You like me.
now
You've always like me.
I definitely have not always liked you.
You shot me, and I'm still angry about that.
That's fair. I still owe you something, I guess, from that. But I mean, you did also turn my home into a wetlands, so
You
maybe we're a
didn't
little
say I
even.
couldn't, so
You didn't say I couldn't shoot you, so
no.
uh-huh, even.
Do we know what they want?
Well, their motivation is suffering. What a better way to continue that suffering is by having somebody like me holding a town in a hold. Continue that suffering and perpetuating it, bringing people more over to their side so they can serve their master, so to say. Corrupting what good can be found here. If they get to Beloved, they won't need this town anymore. They'll scrub their deal and do what they want.
So, what do we need to do to keep beloved safe?
They make deals worse than me, and they will only bargain with one thing: when you are truly and absolutely desperate, they'll come. And it's usually the price you pay is your life. It is theirs. They will take nothing less. Which is why I gave mine to keep my bargains.
Can they be destroyed?
Not in a way that matters, but you can disrupt them. Or banish them, either or. A little explosive here and there, magic, otherwise, what have you. They still wear mortal flesh, they're just a little more magical. That's all.
Okay.
So they're basically just loan sharks.
That's the best way to see them.
Well, were you the ones who were were you the one who was responsible for the visions I was seeing about the stars?
No, that wasn't me.
So that's still coming.
I guess. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I don't know what you saw. I don't deal in visions. I deal in deals, or I used to.
I'm gonna be real honest. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm way in over my head. I know how to read cards, protect my lawn, make a flower grow. I'm every time I think about confronting one of these gray ladies, I'm scared. I'm gonna be real honest. I didn't think this type of magic actually existed.
Ancient magic has a way to sneak up on people. Polite way, of course.
And here I got the old man in the forest eating dinner with me.
I'm not that anymore, no. You've given me mortal form, so I'm technically only a day old.
I take away his moonshine.
Hey,
Maybe when you're older.
kind of grumbles. When I'm older, I'm 300,000 years old. Give me my moonshine back as he reaches for that moonshine that you've taken away from him.
I let him have it. I was just teasing.
Yeah, he knows that.
Oh, that means eventually we'll have to have a birthday for you.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay. If you say so.
There will be cake.
I like cake.
Who doesn't?
He thinks for a moment. Will there be fires?
Fires?
What
Yeah,
do you
like
mean by that?
bonfires.
Oh yeah, we could
Oh, I'll see why
bonfire.
not.
That's fine.
What did you think?
When the
Or is he kinda-
fall when the fall
Oh,
rolls
no.
around, we'll burn up all the sticks and leaves for you.
Okay. And we can seine the cows and ducks and sheep. Pass them through. No blood rituals, right? Because that used to be part of my celebrations too.
Nah, folks don't tend to like that.
Me neither. It was weird. I never got understood it. Like, I'm perfectly happy just to let mushrooms grow on trees. Like, that was perfectly fine with me.
So, next steps. Where do we go from here?
I don't know how to navigate these deals, and that seems to be a big part of everything.
So
Uh,
the deal that is keeping folks alive, that was a deal made with the gray ladies, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah. We know a few people who we still haven't talked to. The doctor who was there, who was helping folk.
Mhm.
Yeah, something's still going on with Mr. McCavish, but I don't think we're going to get close enough to him, or that he'll be forthcoming if we do.
I'm just tired of people being beholden to things bigger than they are and not really having as much of a say in it as they deserve.
Yeah.
I mean, between the company, the banks, and the witches, it's just like the vultures are circling this town.
When it comes to deals, like I don't have a lot I can do except I see a contract. Contracts can burn. That's all I got. I don't know if that's helpful in this situation. But yeah, let's go investigate some. Let's go talk to some more people. Unless you all are ready to go back into the mine.
I think we should look at those maps first. See
Yeah,
if there's a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cross-reference what we saw versus.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Well, I wish you luck. As John kind of stands up, taking his food. Yeah. Yeah. As he kind of heads out the door. Food still in his hand, and you hear the ducks kind of quack after him.
He'll figure it out.
Oh, sure.
I kind of reach over to Jasper's and maybe we should just build him a little shack or something out back. Think he'd be
Yeah.
happier sleeping out there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Speaking of building, Miss Alice mentioned that she could use some roof repair at some point.
Mm, okay.
Map into the Discord for you. All right. Who do you want to go talk to first as I pop in the map?
Let's look at the notes. What do we got?
Yeah. Like maybe the good doctor first.
Yeah, he keeps coming up. So
All right. So you go talk to Giannis. Yeah. He's the doctor that you keep hearing so much about. He is located in the middle of town just because he is a doctor and needs to have more of a central location to everybody. Near where the midwives are kind of stationed, so he has access to helping them if they need it. But he seems to live on his own. He's an elderly gentleman, white hair, full beard, kind of has a slight hunch, has a medical bag with him at most times. But he seems to be home at the moment, either taking a break from his daily work, so nobody actually needs him for once today. And he's, as you kind of approach upon him, he kind of just waves all to you. Seems to be a happy man overall. Folks.
Doctor?
No.
No, you don't have to be so formal. Just call me Honest. Now, you want some tea? I got something brewing on the stove if you want something.
That would be mighty fine.
Sure, it's just some hawthorn tea, just for my joints. As he kind of stands up. I'm just too old to carry on much without a little help.
that does
Do we
sound
know if he?
nice.
Sorry, do we know if he has any family members in that are minors?
Yeah, he was associated with. Let me check my notes. He was associated. He was associated with one of the miners that survived, and he was one that kind of helped the miners overall, getting them up to repair. His family member was. I've not written his name down. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. I lied. But yes, he is associated with one of the miners. I will find his name in amongst my notes afterwards, but I did write it down. I just don't know where
All right.
because I've moved my notes out of order. But he is associated with one of the miners who has a potential tie to the stakes that were in the middle of town square. You know that his name came up in relationship to that.
Yeah, it was in the newspaper, and I'm currently blanking. Like, where's the newspaper clipping? I know it was in there.
Let's see, newspaper
Those newspaper
clippings.
clippings are pasted into our group now.
Mhm.
Uh,
Here we go. Yanis is Mark's father. So Mark is one of the miners who was in the accident, and Yanis is his dad. It's also under information. There. Second page off to the left. Or right, excuse me. Mark thought about going back into the mine, but um, would only do so if there was an increase in wages.
What's Mark doing these days?
Yanis kind of pauses as he pours his tea, thinking for a moment. He's working down in the farm fields, from what I understand, helping the local farmers bring up their crops. Wheat, I believe, this year. Barley was last year. Year before that, wheat. So, yeah, flip-flopping crops, you know how it is. Let's see. What else is he doing? He's looking to get a job at the archives, but I don't think Miss Ginny Brown cares too much for him, so that is what it is. Might go back to the mine sooner or later, now that Silas has unfortunately passed on. Might take up the foreman gig. Pays a bit better from what I understand. So
I mean, does he sound excited to maybe move up in the mining world or
yeah, I mean, he gets to be in charge, and well, gets a bit more money in his pocket. Can start buying his own home and start doing his own things. So I think he's pretty excited. Talks about it a bit now and then.
rather nice? I mean, we've all just been so worried about really everyone after that one day, you know?
Which one day?
You know, the day where the mine collapsed and you know, a lot of us miraculously got saved. A lot of your work.
It's just more of a being in the right place at the right time. But that was 10 years ago now. And, shouldn't be worried about that, Beatrice. You're much too young to be worrying about such things, especially things in the past like that. Leave that worry to the old folk.
And which I'm doing. I just, you know, wanted to share in that concern a little bit. Making sure, you know, our good friend Mark is, you know, still comfortable being around such a place, you know?
Well, next time I see him, I'll let him know about your concerns and check after his welfare. But as far as I know, he's pretty comfortable with it. Brave souls go up in those mountains all the time, man. Mark's just one of those brave souls, I suppose. Eh, He kind of pauses as he sets tea down in front of all of you. There you go.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you.
What does an archivist, a baker, witchy lady, and her bodyguard want with me? Bunch of odd folk conjugating together. I know you ain't after Mark. I might be old, but I'm not dumb.
You know, you may be able to put the memory of that day away. I can't. I have questions about that day.
All right. Shoot your shit, Miss Teresa. If we're gonna be frank, you be honest with me and I'll be honest with you. That's how it goes here. Else I get my shotgun and chase you off my property. How's that?
I ain't gonna stop you, but I also don't want to make a scene if we don't have to.
Yanis nods a bit.
Why don't you tell me what happened that day?
Mountains do what they want to do. Tommy Knockers gave them plenty of warning and they ignored it. Dumb
Who
shits.
who ignored it?
Miners.
Who was in charge?
Your man Silas. I told him. I warned him. Listen to the mountain. Always listen to the damn mountain.
What's the mountain saying now?
It's angry. It wants to go on sleeping. But everybody keeps waking it up.
Our town is full of ghosts and secrets. I'm sure you're well aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you're avoiding what I'm asking. I know that there was a collapse. I know it's probably the bosses and or Silas who ignored all the signs and made them work anyway. That's just normal things miners talk about all the time. What happened after?
3 lovely ladies came to our door, holding my son's bloody hand, and they made me a deal because I was desperate. Mark's all I have in this world. Same with Willie, Garrett, whole bunch of us. We made a deal because we were desperate. We pulled some other poor sap into it. He wasn't too happy about it, but honestly, I didn't care. I had my Mark. I had my boy.
What other
I thought,
sap?
man who wore strange clothes. Skin seemed a bit weird, like bark. Eyes that weren't eyes. I've never seen a man so wounded and hurt, so desperate to protect. They had him where they wanted him. Whatever deal they had with him must work because as soon as they were done with us, they did what they did to him, and that was that. And here we are.
Here we are.
You know how to find these gray ladies?
Yeah, stands slowly. You sure you want to talk to him?
I'm gonna be real honest with you. No, I don't want to talk to him one bit. But I'm tired of folks thinking they can come and have power over us. Uh, I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the secrets. I'm tired of the oppression. So many people willing to put their heads down and just take it and say, "Oh, that's the way it always been." I'm done. I can't do that no more. I lost. I lost Owen that day, and I don't want to see anyone get taken advantage again.
What? What about the rest of you? Because I need to know each and every one of you gonna face down these ladies. You need to know that they're mean all kinds of mean shit. You better go in there prepared. And I don't mean with guns and weapons, I mean go in willing to lose everything. And I mean everything.
It never occurred to me that I might win, so yeah.
Well, you're halfway there. As he kind of pushes the cup towards you.
The way I see it, if we don't have a community that is honest with each other and I don't know, want to have something other than an eternal spring or 10 years, what do we have at that point?
Gilded cage, I suppose. What about you, Jasper?
I'll do what I need to do. My reasons are my own.
Fair enough. You prepared to carry that weight of loss around all your necks? Because I'm going to be saying goodbye to my boy when you do this. You prepared for all that?
Some of us have already had to say our goodbyes.
Don't say I didn't warn you. Go to the schoolhouse. You'll find them. Just tell Miss Jamie you want to see him.
Okay.
I don't envy you shits, but good luck. Drink your tea. It's good for you.
As we get up to leave, I just want to say to him, if you ever want to talk to someone and make peace about all this, my door is always open. I'm always happy to have you over.
Sorry, but I'm gonna have to decline, Miss Teresa Shaw. Magic medicine. Maybe they're a little bit alike, but I ain't messing with that shit anymore.
You have a good day.
Have the day you deserve, as he shuts the door behind all of you.
Jasper, Jasper will offer his arm to Teresa and say, "You're too fucking nice to people."
Yeah, being nice to people is unfortunately my living at the moment.
Not sure who peed in his cereal this morning.
I think we did.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, his warnings are effective.
Yeah, but he knows that he's living on borrowed time with Mark.
Literally.
True.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have told us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all he did was delay the inevitable, and now someone's coming and messing with it. Of course, he's going to be angry.
Yeah, he just needed to let off some steam. That's why I didn't argue with him.
Fair.
You guys ready to go to the schoolhouse? We want to check on Garrett's family or anything else first?
It might be a good thing to do. But go to Garrett's. I mean, I think we've been to every other family at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, let's stop off first.
As we're walking, Teresa's going to like stop and like take me and like tie her shoe. She's pretending to tie her shoe. And she just waves you on. It's like, I'll catch up with you. And she's going to take a moment to whisper to the thing that's always there. She says, I don't know if you're Owen, but you've helped me like Owen would have. Help me protect this town. Help me free them. She'll, yeah.
Would you allow a GM intrusion?
I would love one.
You watch as your strange and gathered group kind of trundle ahead of you. This kind of beautiful in between stage of spring and summer that's not quite warm but not quite cold feeling settled in over the valley. Skies blue, kiss cloud sort of day, mountains quiet against the backdrop of it all. And as you ask this question, this request, footsteps heavy on dirt, boot heavy, kind of crunch against the ground, and they move beside you, and then in front of you, and you see a pair of boots facing your direction. Movement as the figure squats down in front of you. And the thing that wears Owen's skin oh so well looks you over, black, empty eyes, and says, I can work with that. Don't worry, Teresa. I can work with that.
She doesn't want to let on too much that she's seeing this in front of her, but she can't help but have tears come down her face. It's all right. Let's do this. And she'll get up, dust off her apron, and catch up with the group.
Just as you start to go, the hand reaches over and a thumb pushes itself across your cheek. Solid and so damn real. And he just gives you a nod as he walks past you. Constant companion, quietly wandering behind you.
Catch up with Jasper and just full on just like grab your arm.
You all right?
I'll be all right. Just scared.
Fair.
You walk towards Garrett's house, that beautiful day still surrounding you, birds singing their songs. Wind kind of pushing a early warning to a storm that might be approaching for a few days, but you get to Garrett's house and you see that he's kind of outside puzzling over what seems to be a broken tractor of sorts. And as you approach, he kind of lifts his hands in frustration and says, I need parts from Lexington, and I don't have my parts. As he kind of smears his hands down his front, getting grease all over his overalls, and grumbles a little bit. What can I do, you folks? I got some produce, but not a whole bunch today. I sold most of it in the market. Anything else?
Your brother around?
Yeah, what do you need with them?
Oh, I just wanted to talk.
He thinks for a moment. Think he's out on the third field. You want to go talk to him there?
What do y'all think? Do you better to talk to Garrett alone or?
Either way, I mean, here, tell you what, I can potentially see what's going on with your tractor if you don't mind. If we could call on Garrett in the meantime.
Sure. I mean, if you can fix a broken axle, by all means. I can't.
Well, Jim, I'm not sure if this technically applies. But I do have training on running machinery and electrical repair.
I got
Yeah,
engineering.
Yeah.
Hey,
If you
Earring. Come on.
put the brains together.
if you want to roll together, you can, or if you want to roll individually, or if you want to give advantage to one or the other, I can allow that too. Just tell me how you want to do it.
I don't know. What do you think?
I'll give you advantage. I'm a terrible roller.
Okay, it's like I'm
tend to
hit or
roll
miss.
ones.
Sometimes it'll be great. Other times I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna roll above a 10 this entire session. So let's see which one it is. All right. I love that the trait for or the skill for this is called useful. That's it. Okay. Well, I have advantage, so let's see if we can do better than a 4.
Yeah.
14 is a lot
Yeah.
better than a 4.
Way better than a 4. So as you're looking kind of at Garrett's tractor, Dare, you're kind of in there too. You both realize it's not so much an broken axle as it is a loose nut that basically just rusted away and needs replacing.
Well, yeah, that would do it. If that gets a little bit more support, I think it would run just fine.
Yeah, and I don't think you're gonna need to wait for a shipment from Lexington for a nut. You might even have some in spare parts just in
Oh
your old junk
shoot.
drawer.
Yeah, he kind of straightens up. Sorry, Beaver. I'm being a poor host. Want any food? I'm just gonna go grab. I'll bring some bread. I see. Kind of turns away, goes into the house, comes back with a handful of nuts and bolts. What looks to be some bread and some ham, and sets them down for all of you as he gets back to work. The bread's covered in grease, as is the ham. He doesn't seem to care too much about hygiene as he's fixing his tractor.
As it goes.
I don't know that we'll learn a lot from the subject of the deal. That it might be the person who made the deal is the person we really want to talk to. I say it in the best code that I can. That doesn't sound
Yeah.
completely like. But do we want to talk to Thomas? Is that the intention here?
Yeah.
Garrett's just humming away, happy that his tractor is now fixed.
Sure. I mean, we can confirm things by Therese, Miss Teresa, if you want to do a card reading, but I think that we've got a pretty good guess at this point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've all but confirmed that that's what's going on here.
All right. Sounds like we're going to the third field then.
All right. You go to the third field. Garrett kind of just waves you through the gate and doesn't seem to mind too much that you're watering his fields. But as you approach the far third field, you do see Thomas kind of trying to pull up a old stump out of the field so he can work the fields a bit better. As you approach, he kind of squints at all of you, wipes his hands, put on his glasses, and kind of waves you over. Ah, what can I do you folks for? Garrett's usually the one selling goods. I'm just working the fields.
Yeah, we actually just ran into him. Darn tractor was acting up again, but we were able to help.
Ah, good.
I think we actually wanted to talk to you about Garrett's condition.
Okay.
We know what happened at that day in the mine all those years back.
Yeah, it collapsed.
Now the deal that kept some of our friends alive all this time, that's collapsing too.
Ah, that makes a bit more sense. Who else you've been bothering about this?
Who are you concerned about?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, if it didn't matter, we wouldn't be asking each other questions now, would we?
Shit. Well, I'm mostly concerned with Leonis. He threatened to shoot me last time I brought this up to him. So,
He did that to us too.
oh, good. I'm glad I'm not on the other one on the shit list. Well, you don't have to worry about Marcy, unfortunately.
Yeah. We hope that that part of the deal breaking is over. That those who made the deal aren't going to be suffering like they did.
Hmm. Well, yeah, I bargained for my brother. He and I are the only thing left in this world. Mom and Dad left us this land. I can't work it alone. What do you want? I mean, anything short of just telling me to fuck off. It's kind of nice to know what you need.
I mean, this was more or less just to kind of let you know that everything's coming up. But if you have any more information about these ladies, we would certainly appreciate it.
They find you when you're desperate. They serve something called the Inner Dark. I gave it a name, something something ridiculous, if I recall right. He thinks for a moment. The thing whose name sounds like Hornhead, but it is not. That's the name they gave it.
Hornhead. All right.
Was Harris a part of this deal? He was in the news clippings and said that he lives alone. I'm wondering if, like, how he got involved in this deal, if he's involved at all.
Well, you see Thomas kind of shift from foot to foot. Yeah, Harris was a part of it, yeah. He bargained for his wife, actually.
And she wasn't working the mine,
Yeah,
was she?
she was. Uh, she wasn't always a she.
Hmm.
So, but that's how it is, I suppose. They're
I see.
happy, and that's all that matters.
I see.
But don't tell Harris I told you. He doesn't like me talking on it too much. And he said it's no one's business but their own. So,
I understand. Was McCavish any part of this deal that you
no,
know of?
McCafish doesn't give a shit. And if anything, McCafish wasn't really against it. He asked us not to do it.
Well, there's that stop clock again.
You know, McCavish was already getting what he wanted. This is town of Timber's built on a house of cards. And all of us are just walking around with big sticks. So
Hmm.
I think what we wanted to do was come tell you that this all might come to an end, and it might come to an end soon. And I want you to be prepared for that. And I want you to know my door is open for you. We all lost something that day, and there's nothing wrong with feeling that.
Gonna be real frank with you and don't mean to be rude, but why'd you go messing with things? We had something nice here.
Yeah, but at what cost?
I won't be crass. But yeah, I suppose you're right.
I'm glad you had these years with your brother. And I'm glad now that you'll have a chance to say goodbye.
Yeah. If you do see Harris, just let him be. He's already been through a lot. He's happy for once. Old man needs that, you know.
We understand.
Right. I've gotta get back to work.
Be seeing you.
Yeah. Take care now. Turns away from you and continues to pull up the stump.
Do we want to give Harris the chance to say goodbye, or do we take that warning to leave Harris alone at face value?
I think the best we could hope for is that they just accept it. But I think everyone we talked to has been angry.
And they both kind of knew that the clock was ticking. Dead bodies on the poles in the middle of the town square tend to do that.
Yeah. I mean, everything always makes sense in hindsight, but we probably could have been a little more delicate about how we handled this to begin with. It's too late for that now.
Starting to feel like a damn reaper.
Yeah.
No one ever accused me of being delicate.
I think I have to remind myself these folks are already dead. In a way, their presence here is just torturing the living. People got to grieve that, and they ain't been given the chance. Yeah. I say we just let it be. Let whatever happens happens for the rest of the folks involved.
To the schoolhouse?
Schoolhouse.
Teresa just pinching salt in her apron pocket.
Oh, I replenished my biscuits. Just
The pocket biscuits.
my biscuits are back to full levels. Um,
Biscuits replenished.
All right.
that's right. I had a full rest.
So you arrive at the schoolhouse, sitting next to uh, the local kind of like duck pond. And as you arrive, Miss Jamie's teaching the young Nell. Seems to be arithmetic. And as you come in, Miss Jamie kind of looks up and says, "I'll be with you in one moment, sugars. Um, no, just go home, do the subtraction math, and you'll be good for today. Tell your dad I said hi, all right? I'll be by later. Check in on you." Nell kind of eagerly grabs up her school books and kind of waves at all of you as she dashes down the hill towards her home, leaving you alone with Miss Jamie. Sorry about that. How can I help you folks?
I turned to Miss Beatrice. Don't you have a prior relationship with Miss Jamie or no?
I mean, a little, a little bit like with the town gossip, I guess. Um, well, Miss Jamie, I don't really know how to put this delicately, so I think there's this we have a favor to ask. And we were told that in order to ask this favor, um we just say we would like to see the Gray Ladies.
Is that all?
Yes.
That seems like a lot. So, yeah, I hope so.
She nods a little and beckons you to the chairs around the table she has here. Please sit. I'll be delighted to help you. Now, you folks want anything to drink before I get started?
I'm good, thank you.
No, thank you, ma'am.
I'm all right. Thank you, though.
Of course. As she kind of glides past you, shuts the school door and locks it, and kind of turns towards you, hands up, and says, "Just so that nobody bothers us. I don't want to have anybody stumble in on this by accident. If you understand, I can unlock the door, though, if you're more comfortable with that."
I think that's fine.
Yeah, and how exactly does she lock the door?
She uses a key that she has on her belt.
Hmm.
She's a school teacher. She would have something like this.
Makes sense. But
One of those old-fashioned iron keys.
Okay, yeah. That makes you a little more nervous that it's like not like a latch that but no, yeah. I got a pry bar. Chances
I'm
are
glad
we're
we're
gonna get killed by
immediately
something
assuming the worst.
otherworldly, not because we were, caught with a door that we couldn't get open. Although I'm perfectly capable of rolling ones no matter what the conflict, whether it's magic or can't open a door.
Oh man. Sidebar. There, heck yeah. Heck and the team and the other Cypher system game I was playing could not open the door to save their lives and
Nope.
just kept kept running into walls that
Yep.
became doors and doors became walls. It was a good hour of them just trying to get this door open. And I'm just like, you know what? Just make another roll. Let's see where it goes.
Exactly.
Okay,
Make
that's
our
good
own
enough.
door.
Make your own
Yeah.
door. And that's what happened.
Yeah. In the Heart campaign that we're doing on Saturdays with Girls Run These Worlds, somebody tripped. And so like, oh, somebody needs to help that person. That person rolls badly. Then we need to pull both these people out. We both roll badly. We have to go get help because somebody tripped. And there was
That honestly
no,
sounds like heart.
yeah. So, I mean, total party kill. Roll new characters.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, I'm gonna pull your characters onto the map just so you can orderly put yourselves where you want on the map. There we go. So as Miss Jamie kind of locks the door, she glides back around to the front of the desk and says, "So, the Grey Ladies, yeah? That's some dangerous magic. Are you sure? I mean, it's okay to say no."
Unfortunately, we are sure.
Okay. She turns her head to the left. "Miss Jenny Brown, Maddie, come out here real quick."
Shut up.
As you see Miss Jenny Brown materialize and Maddie materialize, Miss Jamie kind of folds her hands in front of her chest and says, "You have our attention. How can we help you?"
My brain is internally screaming right now. I just need you all to know this.
I'm just like, sorry, can't react. I'm falling over my tongue on the floor.
As you know, the Green Man is no longer a Green Man.
Yes, you put a little dampener on our big spoily event.
And a lot of these threads that I've pulled, I didn't necessarily mean to, thought I was helping. But we are where we are now. I want our town to be okay. I want our community to be okay. What do you want? And can we all get there peaceably?
We want beloved. We've always wanted beloved. Your green man stopped us in his clever little tricks of words. But he's human now, so we can just go kill him and be done with it.
And when you get beloved, what do you do with her or them?
Take what she is, give her to the master, and we are gone. Simple as that.
Master?
The inner dark?
All three of them smile in unison, and they all say, yes. You could join us. You would be granted all you ever desired: peace, power, the ability to do as you need. Whenever you wanted.
I'm not inclined to believe the lies of vultures preying on this town. You come and you've taken advantage of desperate people, and there's enough mortal vultures circling our little town, waiting for someone to fall into poverty and work them to death on lies and promises. We don't need you here anymore.
We didn't create your poverty. You forged it on your own hands. We just made it better.
Yeah, you're right. Poverty ain't going to go away. The reasons these people are desperate probably ain't going to go away overnight. But as long as you're dangling baubles in front of them and distracting them, telling them they can have, that the dead can stay among them, it's just a distraction. We can't help each other with this, with all this here. No, I think you need to go.
Give us beloved and we'll leave.
Who is beloved to you or to your inner dark?
Power at the core. She is that little spark. Something he can use. Anything that he can use is useful. She's just another cog in that beautiful wheel that keeps spinning this world around. And he wants that. So we're gonna go get it for him, or at least if you want us gone, you will get it for us. And we'll leave. Take our bargain with us, and we'll leave timber to its own devices. We swear. As all three hands go up from each woman.
Beings are not yours to own.
Then your town stays within our grasp. Deals black and white. Beloved for your sense of peace. Better than 5 souls your green man was going to take.
He was just doing what he knew how to do. He was angry. He's not like you. Can't compare the same. You're vicious. No. I reject any deal you offer me.
Are you in a bind? The same way the green man was to you?
Well, he bargained that we could never set foot in those mines as long as he was alive and kicking, doing what he did best. But now he's mortal.
I don't mean are you you bound to the Green Man. I mean, are you bound to the inner dark? Is that why you serve?
Oh, yes, we are bound, and that's why we serve.
What would you do if you were free?
You mistaken, we chose to serve.
So it's different the way Green Man was bound to you.
I suppose. He did it out of desperation. We did it out because we wanted to. There's a thin difference. He could have said no.
What do you get out of it?
The misery of this town. Knowing those 5 little faces have to face what they dealt with. Knowing that they live amongst the dead, knowing that their pain is what eats us. That's what we get out of it. And when it's all done, we get the greatest reward there ever was from our master. And don't you forget that he is mighty.
Now, did he tell you that you would get this grand fine reward if you just did this thing? You're just taking his word for it?
He does not lie to us, little Beatrice,
How do you know that?
because he's never lied to us. You honestly think Timber's the first town we've done this to?
No, but at least my humble mortal experience, the more power one gets, the more they want to keep it to themselves.
We understand what you're trying to do, but it won't work on us, unfortunately.
Hey, don't say I didn't warn you.
We appreciate the warning, but you're not the first.
Here's what I don't understand. You feed on suffering. There is so much of that in the world. You did not have to put your thumb on the scale.
No, but we wanted to.
The cruelty is the point.
Exactly, Mr. Dare.
You ain't even a stopped clock.
We are the things that scream in the darkness, if that helps.
No, it doesn't.
So, if you're not here to bargain with us, why are you here other than to annoy and delay the inevitable?
We thought we would be speaking the same language.
Language of bargains or language of soft, kind words?
The language of coexistence.
What a funny little man you are. Coexistence implies we are equal. We are not.
Not the first time I heard somebody to say that to me.
If coexistence is what you want, and you are unwilling to bargain for, beloved, because you believe them to be a being, perhaps we can come to another understanding. Give us John, and we'll go.
This is my town. And I ain't much, but I am its witch. And John is under my protection.
All right. John's under your protection. And you see Miss Jamie kind of point to each of you. What is one man's life against 100? Think on it.
What good is he? What good is John to you now that he's a human?
Humans are always worth a little bargaining. He's just as valuable as all of you are to us. Humans make mistakes, and we love that.
And take me. I've made bigger mistakes than anyone here.
Why would you give us you? Because of your mistakes or because of your humanity?
I think the fact that I don't know just makes me more valuable.
See Miss Jamie approach you and kind of reach towards you, and she pauses and scrunches her nose a bit. There's something missing in you. You're not completely there. She taps your chest a bit. Damaged goods.
That's what it means to be human.
No, not like this. They're whole. He points to Teresa, Jasper, and Beatrice, but something's missing in you. They're damaged too, but not in the way you're damaged. What is missing in you? She squints at you for a moment. Where is your pity? She pokes your chest again. Somebody has taken it from you. Get your pity back and we might consider your offer.
Never had much use for pity and didn't realize I'd missed it.
Don't worry. Once you find it again, we'll talk. All of us. One big happy family, sugars. As Miss Jamie steps back. Now, if you excuse us, unless you want to talk to us further, we actually have work to do. Gotta go pretend to be human somehow.
It's impressive the town gossip holds on to this secret for this long.
The three women laugh. We've learned from the best. Too bad poor Maddie, Miss Jamie, Jenny Brown didn't learn anything when we took their faces. Have a good day, folks. As Miss Jamie flicks her hand and the door swings open. Have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I always knew I was missing a piece. It's nice to get verification, I guess.
I'm sure if you ask John nicely, he'll give it back.
I don't know that he can.
Might know how to get it back, at the very least.
Yeah, I like that better than giving up beloved or somebody else unwillingly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have a few avenues to unfuck this thing.
You can't just let them take you, though. They've taken plenty from this town.
I'm not going to take anything. I'm going to give it.
I'm going to be frank, Mr. Dare. Do you have a death wish?
I don't know. I just,
Look, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but a creature like those three, they'll feed on a body and they're just going to be on to the next. All anyone in this town has done is delay the inevitable over and over and over. Whether it be the company ignoring safety in the mines, that's what we do. We kick it down the road. Now, I'm not going to let you feed yourselves with those monsters.
kicking it down the road is what fighting is. That's why we keep fighting the company. When we save lives, all we're doing is delaying death. We all die.
Now, I understand we're in a series of battles in a war, but you also got to know when to retreat, Mr. Dare.
You ever heard the phrase give till it hurts?
Yeah, of course.
Just because it hurts doesn't mean you stop giving. If we got a better idea, I'm all for it.
You know, you're right. I don't have a better idea, but I think we need to talk to Jonas.
Sure. Talk to Jonas, talk to John,
Let's
go
have
back to the mines. Talk to Beloved.
let's at least make one more plan before we throw ourselves on a grenade. That sound good to you, Dare?
Sure.
All right.
I'm here to serve.
Oh, if this man wasn't her age.
you could go find Jonas sitting outside of your house, Dare, as he's kind of just waiting for you to come home and has found peace there while he's trying to hide out there. And you see him sketching away, muttering to your dogs and petting them as you draw close. He doesn't really seem to notice when you approach, but Clover and Cookie sure do as they come barking up at you and rub against you, looking for belly pats, mostly food, and that draws his attention towards all of you. Oh, hey, how you doing?
Without pity.
Okay.
Just had a conversation with the gray ladies.
Uh-huh. Why?
Thought they might be reasonable.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're very not.
You're alive, and that's all that matters. You are alive.
We're alive because they think they can strong arm us into giving them what they want. It's the only reason we're standing right here.
Right. You didn't give them anything, right?
Absolutely not.
Good. Okay.
They
Good.
they want beloved, whatever beloved is.
Ah.
S- Secondarily, they want John because John was protecting beloved.
Ah.
And they might be open to another human, but not a broken one.
That's a silly request. We're all broken.
That's what I said. We give each other a high five.
Gives you a high
That
five.
wasn't invented yet.
Yes, it was. It was invented in timber in 1920, whatever year this is.
50 years
35.
early.
It took a while to spread.
Yeah. Considering you are a time locked town, yeah.
Yeah.
But Jonas kind of stands and pats your back there. Well, they're whatever, and you're alive, and that's all that matters. So, fuck them, and yeah, fuck them.
They also said something, I believe them, that I'm without pity, and I think John might have taken away my pity before he became a man.
Did you offer him pity?
I specifically didn't. I think it was a miscommunication.
Possibly. I mean, he's beings like crossroad men usually and purposely misinterpret things. So
Would there be a way to get that back if he's now a human?
possibly. I mean, John's still connected to the green, just not as he was. He's still of the green, just not of the green. I don't know how to explain it better. Like maybe your mom was of England and you are of England. So it's like that. You're like one step removed. That's the best way to put it.
Okay. So, do you have any ideas of how to navigate this, whether it's fighting them or tricking them, or I was half tempted to take the deal and then fight
Yeah,
once they gave us some powers, but I don't. Last time I tried to do that, things went to shit pretty quickly.
you also have to remember Crossroads Man did what he wanted to out of his own motivations. That wasn't on you in the entirety.
Yeah, I keep hearing that.
You better start believing it. Because older things than us will do what they want to if they're angry enough
Mhm.
with the words we give them. It's not our fault. They're just going to do what they want to do. Good or bad, that's just what they do.
I hear what you're saying.
Okay, good, because I didn't have any other way to explain it, and I was running out of metaphors real quick. Um, well, maybe not fighting them. They're pretty tough. They are of the inner darkness, from what I know. Not nice. Powerful, more likely to bargain than to fight, but they will fight if they need to. Nasty, from what I understand. Um, the only way I can think of John giving you back your pity is simply you by asking him to give it back.
That's the least of my concerns. I'm more interested in how we can fight or disrupt or do something with these gray ladies and the inner dark.
Well, you could disrupt their plans, whatever they may be, and kind of usurp it from there. That way you don't have to fight. They will no longer have a bargaining chip over this town, and if they have nothing to take back with them, they might just leave. Might get angry, but I will leave. Nothing holding them down here, so
Well, their plan is beloved.
I don't know what beloved is. I've been looking, trying, but nothing in my books is coming up.
They seem to think we can help with that.
Mhm. What they want is beloved, but their bargaining chip, their collateral, is those who died in the mine that day.
Well, you can get rid of the collateral, put it to rest, go after beloved yourself and do what you will there. It's up to you folks. I mean, I can help you with basic charms and hexes, but I'm not steering this ship.
Is beloved just a bargaining chip, or could she potentially be someone who could help us as far as having more firepower on our side?
Possibly a helper, but you'd have to ask John about it. He seems to know more about what she is than I do. I mean, I've really been looking through these books. I've never heard of her or anything like her. She might be something entirely new.
She's from the New Gods of Appalachia supplement, is what you're saying.
Oh my god.
DLC. It's the
And it's got a
DLC.
homebrew. Yeah, DLC.
It's just trees.
You get an early bird Kickstarter reward.
Well, Jonas, show me what you know so that I can help protect us. And yeah, we'll lead the way, finding out whatever we can find out.
Okay. You all can sit down and I can teach, all right? I don't know how good good at teaching, but try my best.
I'm a quick learner.
Good, because I'm a bad teacher.
Well, I'm a bad learner, so looks like we got it all covered.
Good, because I'm lake born, and that's how I do my magic. So let's go. As he sits down, opens his books, and starts laying things out, and he will take you through his understanding of the world at large through magic. And as we conclude tonight's episode, Jonas will actually bring you all up to level 3 with this little teaching. Well done. So, as we are going into our outro, I am pleased to say thank you once and all for coming out, seeing as how we are excited to do this spooky little story. My players get to put up with my bullshit each week, and I'm glad that they do. And as we head out, let's go to the top of the order with our outros. Let's start with myself first, saying, hey, I'm Jen. Thank you for coming. You can find me on Twitter. Just find me there if you want to chat about the game or just chat about things in general. Next in line is Alex.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you for including me. I've been Alex. I publish and perform as Lex Wilson. I'm Alexotica on Twitter, lexwilson.bsky.social on Blue Sky, lexwilson.com for everything else. You can currently find me on another horror actual play with Girls Run These Worlds playing Heart, the City Beneath on Saturdays, and my Pantsless Pride adventure playing Oops, All Draculas with Pantsless Tables, where we raised money for Trans Lifeline, is now on YouTube. It's a one-shot in the vein of What We Do in the Shadows. I play an 800-year-old Nosferatu who doesn't look a day over 790. I need to do better about posting clips, but I have links to that and all of the other actual plays I've been involved with at lexwilson.com/actor. Also, a web series I'm involved in as an actor is looking to raise finishing funds for its third season. It's called .org, a woman-led mockumentary series, kind of like Parks and Rec, but about an environmental nonprofit created by someone with years of experience in environmental nonprofits. I play an Elon Musk wannabe. I guess Elon Musk is kind of an Elon Musk wannabe, who is an interim executive director. And there's a good amount of improv involved, and it's a very collaborative environment. But I'm not a writer on this. I'm an actor. .org show, DOTORGSHOW.com. Also, you can find links to the first and second season at the same link I gave you before, lexwilson.com/actor.
Thank you very much, Alex. Next, Mal.
Hi, I'm Mal, aka Archangelic. You can find me on Twitter as Archangelic. You can also find more links for me on my website, archangelic.space. I can be found at any of the times. So like we said in the announcements, on this channel, I mostly run games here. Yeah, I am getting into professional GMing. If you're interested in playing a game with me, I have 2 games open. There is a pinned tweet on my Twitter where you can find more information about that. I'm running some Thirsty Sword Lesbian games, so please come join. Yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you very much, Mal. Heck.
Hey everybody, it's me, Sir Heckalot. I'm here. I'm on your screen, and you can find me all over the internet at Sir Heckalot, including Twitch, Itch. I guess Twitter is so long as supplies last. I'm gonna keep saying that until it dies. At some point it's going to. Et cetera, et cetera. Just find me on the internet. It's the best place to figure out where I'm gonna be in the TTRPG space next, because I tend to wear a lot of hats and do a lot of things and go a lot of places. It's also where I post about my absolutely wild life as a 4th-year vet student. Like, I'll probably be talking today about an anesthetic event that we did on a bowl that was very interesting. So stay tuned. At least for the near future, the stuff that I'm going to be in, like out in TTRPGs, you can find me on Crits and Giggles TTRPG with All Hail the Queen. It's a Tyranny of Dragons campaign that's every other Thursday. every other Friday, including this Friday. You can find me over on Neon Lights Roleplay and Cold Hands, Warm Hearts, a Rhyme of the Frost Maiden campaign. And we're on our second episode back from hiatus, and we're gonna keep it rolling. It's gonna be a good time. I'm very excited for this table to be back. And then every other Monday, you can find me back at Neon Lights Roleplay playing an Oathsworn Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. It is also a 5e campaign based on Greek mythology. And oh my God, guys, there was drama last episode, but now my character is going into this session with 2 levels of exhaustion, and there's going to be more drama. So I'm very scared, but also very excited. It's going to be wild. You won't want to miss it. But yeah, that's me.
Thank you very much. Last but not least, Soliloquy.
Hey friends, I'm Soliloquy Jaden. You can find me everywhere online as Fat Sapphic Bro. I mostly hang out on TikTok and make a variety of content, so feel free to come hang out with me. As for streaming here on Twitch, most Sundays 7:30 to 9:30 p.m., most Mondays 5 to 7 p.m., most Tuesdays 6 to 9 p.m., and most Wednesdays 2 to 5 p.m., all Pacific time. Thanks.
And thank you once again, listeners and viewers. I hope you all have a great week. Hope to see you next week. Good night.